Hi friends, welcome back. So I'm going to be showing you how I made the base for this file folder Folio. I shared the video just recently and I will link that below if you haven't seen the flip through of it. I'm going to show you the base for how the original one was that was made that I mentioned I took inspiration from. So this is using this style of file folder with the tab at the bottom, and I'm just showing you on the screen with a ruler the size of this envelope. I'll show you the folds, I'll show you how to make it, and then I'm also going to show you a different version in case you have one like this. It also works with the tab in the center, but first I'll show you how the original one that I was inspired from. So you will take your top flap of your file folder, you open it up and you bring it to the center. So you would fold that bottom up to the center score there, which is the original file folder score in the center. So I'll walk you through that again. You'll fold that over and make sure that you're just underneath that fold line. Make sure you score this really well. Turn it the other way. Again, this is your original score line for your file folder. You bring your piece over just to that side and then you'll flip it over again. And this is where you would be making the last fold. And again, this is going to be a little tough when you're first doing it because you have to meet the top of the tab there just at the bottom. And it will take a little bit, like I said. Make sure you score it really well, make sure you make your crisp lines, and then you end up with this, with the file folder. Now originally she cut it at 6 inches. I moved it up to 5 inches from the top because I kind of like that size better. And like I said, mine is different than how Gina made hers, but of course watch her video. I will link her channel below to see her version of it. Again, this one was the way I decided to do it. A little bit different, just the sizing is a little different. So here we're cutting off this piece and we're also cutting it off on this side. So mark again your 5 inches from the top, which I'm going to show you. So you'll be marking your 5 inches from the top. And when I say the top of the file folder, it's just on the left side, of course, where we're making our score lines. But when we fold everything the way it's supposed to be, it will be the top of the folder. So just follow the instructions on the screen. Sometimes it's a little hard to describe it. So I went ahead and cut off this piece here. So again, we made our score lines. We cut off that part because we're everywhere where the X is, we're taking these pieces off of our file folder. Okay, so we're cutting off this end and then we're cutting off the other side here. And then you're going to be left with your little gap in the center, basically, of your file folder. Of course, save this and use it for something else. So now this is what your file folder looks like. We'll fold it again, how it's supposed to be. Okay, this is what you end up with at the end. You will bring this over. Just make sure that it's lined up to your other part here, as you can see how I've done that. And we're doing the same again. Make sure it lines up on all areas so that you're left with this really nice finish. Of course, you can pause the video and go back if you need to see it again. It took me a little while actually to figure out, you know, the right way to fold it and cut it. But once you start making one, then it's so much easier to make the other one. And as I said, Gina's version was this way. She kind of did her flaps the other way. I decided to turn mine over and I added some more things to it as well to make the additional flips and flops. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like finished this way. We'll turn it over. This is where I added this pocket. Okay, so that's the additional one that I did to it. I added it on this side, and then of course the original one has these cuts that I am showing you here. And you can add more pockets, tuck spots, and flips to anything you want, of course. Now, when you have it this way, you flip it over And then here again, I added my other pocket in the center. You don't have to do that. You can add a flip up, a flip down. You all know how we do this with our projects. So that's just the basic one that I decided to, change up a little bit from the original design. The next one I'm going to just quickly show you. It's the same thing. I won't do measurements because it's the exact same folds that we did with the other one, except this is using the Amazon center tab. Okay. And that's just if you happen to have this file folder. I actually like this one because now it made it into like a taller version. So like a tall, skinny folio, which, it looks really cool. So again, it's just the same thing. We ended up doing the same folds, except I cut it at 3 inches instead of 5 inches from that top. And that's just because I'm meeting my tab there on the right. Okay, so you're really just trying to emphasize the tab, keep it where it is to show it off, and then fold your file folder to that. But I'll come back in another video and we'll go step by step on how I decorate these. And if you want to see how this one is put together, let me know. I will do that as well. And check out the video if you haven't seen it originally. Don't forget to check out Gina's channel where she shows how she made her version, which inspired this project in the first place. All right, my friends, thanks so much for stopping by.